first off, to know my brother is tough. Like, Marky is a tough cookie. Just period, right? To hear somebody, especially as his friends saying it, because they're friends, you should already know that Marky, he a goon. He is a goon. He like, yeah, he's hurt. Once his friend said he's hurt, what we waiting on? Put some fire underneath your shoes. Let's go to the field. Because I'm not used to hearing that about my brother. Like, he's hurt. Like, no, Marky always on go. So, boom, the friend leads the way. We push the door open. We end up outside the school going towards the football field. Clear as day, you see Marky from a distance. You see Marky and you see about 5, 6 people. Right? But in my mind, right? Off track. But in my mind, I'm like, we all supposed to be in class. Like, we could all get in trouble. Like, why are they not in class? Like, I can understand Marky being like, so this must be serious. So now I'm power walking. So I start running. I'm like, Marky. So he coming towards me. As soon as he get close, I'm like, what happened? Like, I'm worried. My heart is beating fast. My heart rate was at a high. It was beating fast. I could hear it on the outside. Talking about it was just doing all types of, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh my God, like, what's going on? Like, what's wrong? I'm like, your friend said you hurt, you know what I'm saying? So he like, bro, he like, look. So he moved his hair and he had like a knot. You could like, you didn't have to feel it to see like if you could find a knot. Like you could see 3D vision. This man had a knot in his head. So I'm like, what happened? He like, I got a headache so bad, bro, but it's in the back of my head. He like, somebody hit me with something. He like, but it was somebody that ran past me. I'm like, wait, what happened? So now the rest of, you know what I'm saying, his peoples, they come over there. Now we in a huddle, right? So Marky like, look, let's walk around, right? Let's go by the trackway. Now, it was where people basically do tracking and they running and practicing and training and stuff like that. So we went over there to blend in with the other class. So we goes over there, but not too close. So Marky like giving all us the works, giving us the tea of what's going on. So he like, listen, I was in the hallway. I promise you, I was coming up the stairs to get ready to go towards my locker. Before I get up the stairs, somebody just hit me in the back of the head. But I felt like it was a fist, but they had to have something in their hand, bro. I'm like, what? He like, when I turned around and looked, he say, everybody was like, it was that girl, But he like, it was so many people coming up behind me that I couldn't see who. So I was like, are you beefing with a girl? He like, no, but you are. And I think it's that Dorothy girl. I'm like, it can't be her. In my mind, you hear what I'm saying. You're picking up what I'm putting down. It can't be her. It can't be her because she ain't been to school. I ain't see her in the hallway. She ain't come to second period. She ain't come to lunch. Like, I ain't seen this way. And normally, I see her at least about 2 or 3 times. I ain't seen so Marky like, it had to be her. He like, man, I got a headache in the back of my head. I'm like, we need to go to the nurse. He like, no, because they going to tell the principal and the dean and the counselor, and then they going to report it and they going to call mom. I'm like, all right, so what we going to do? He like, we finna go find Dorothy. I'm like, she not here. He like, bro, that's the only, he like, I've been here. Ain't nobody pulling with me. Ain't nobody playing no games with me. None of that. He like, she the only one playing on me and stepping on my toes. I'm like, he like, it hurts so bad, bro. I'm like, all right, look, if she's here, we'll see her. He like, and I'm smacking her out of her. He was like, he was smacking the dog out of her. I'm like, no, you gonna get in trouble. Like, it's gonna make matters worse. I'm like, you wanna go to, you know, I'm trying to do things the right way, right? I'm like, you wanna go to the principal office? He like, what they gonna do? We been there. She still, look how this girl acting. She hit me, bro. No, I'm finna hit her back. She hit me, I'm finna hit her back. So I'm like, bro, no, you gotta calm down. So his friends like, one of the girls like, hey, I knock her clean out. First off, you don't know Dorothy. Cause like they was slim. They were Coca-Cola shaped. See, Dorothy was more like a 6-pack. Okay. She was more like a 6-pack. So it's like y'all gonna jump on her? Like, y'all might win if y'all jump on her, but so Marky like, I'm not gonna clear out. So I'm like, look, you know what tomorrow is, right? So he like, no, and who cares? I'm like, Marky, look, I need you to listen to me. I'm like, look at me, bro. I'm like, hey, y'all, give me a second. Can y'all scoot down? So everybody kind of moved from close by me and Marky. So it's just me and Marky now. Because I didn't want him to feel like he got to get tough or he felt like I was punking him. So, you know what I'm saying? I knew how to operate with my brother. You feel me? So I'm like, hey, you know it's teacher-parent conference day tomorrow. He like, bro, I don't care. I'm like, listen, I got your back. He like, you sure you got my back? I'm like, hey, don't. I left class without a hall pass. He like, that's more important than your brother. I'm like, stop. No, that's not more important. What I'm saying is, let's just wait. I got her. I'm going to get her, right? So I'm letting him know, I got you. I'm going to get her. I'm going to get her. Don't even worry about it. Because, see, I'm 50-50. I'm 50-50, baby. Don't worry about it. I got you. So Marky like, if I see her first, I say, if you see her first, you go in. He like, all right. I'm like, all right, we did our secret handshake. Everybody come back over. So Marky like, man, it's banging so bad. I'm like, we almost out or whatever. Like, we finna get ready to leave. We got one more period, and then we're going to get ready to go. So, boom. Class that by the track that was during the training, it's about to get ready to end. So, we all huddle up, and we leave, right? I goes back to my 7th period, right? I still got time. So, my teacher was like, So, I was like, hey, I got to get my stuff. No. I'm like, I need to get my books and, you know what I'm saying? I had like books and papers and pens and pencils. I left it on the desk. I'm coming to get my stuff, little Wody. He like, it's on my desk. He like, your period is over with. I'm like, yeah, but something happened to my brother. Okay. Hope everything is fine, but you need a pass to come back in and get your items. I'm like, please don't do this. I'm like, it was an emergency. He's like, okay, if it was an emergency, let your dean know, let your counselor know, or let the principal know. So I have to let somebody know up higher that it's a problem. So I'm like, I said, okay, I'll be back, right? Now, mind you, the bell gonna ring soon. So I'm hurrying up. So the geeky boy, right? He like, hey. I'm like, hold on, Pee-wee. He like, that's not my name. But I heard him, but I'm still shooting off. So I'm like, y'all, excuse me, because I'm still trying to beat the bell before it's time for me to go to my last period, right? So I gets, boom. Listen, I kid you not. I gets in the principal office. I'm like, hey, can I see my counselor? Don't know why I said that first, but I could have said the dean and principal anyway, but I said the counselor first. So she like, who's your counselor? I'm like, I don't know. So she like, who's your homeroom? I'm like, gave her the name. Did she like, and what's your name? So boom, I confirmed my name. She like, give me 1 second. I think she just made it back there from lunch. So she goes back there, right? So boom, she comes out. She like, let's go. I'm like, okay. I'm like, thank you. She like, no problem. I'm like, so first off, to come out and say, let's go. That's enough. It making me panic. It making me nervous. So immediately I goes there. She like, okay, what brings the pleasure? I'm like, She like, why you here? I'm like, I know I'm gonna get in trouble. She said, well, let me be the judge of that. I'm like, okay, well, I had left my last period in the middle of the period because something happened to my brother and I went to go check on him. And what happened to your brother? I'm like, he just got a bad headache. She like, did he go to the nurse? I'm like, I tried to convince him, but he said he was going to be okay and to excuse his absence. We only got one more period. She like, so let me get this right. Let me get this correct. You left your class to go check on your brother? I'm like, yes. And what did the teacher say? I'm like, no, what did the teacher say when you left? I'm like, before I left? What did the teacher say? So I'm like, man, this lady a tough cookie because she didn't change her face. She had like a stale face, like it was blank. And I was just looking like, what you mean? What? Right? So I'm like, well, he said that I needed to pass. I'm like, my brother friend came in my class to come get me. Okay. And I'm like, and the teacher said I needed to pass to come back in this class. Okay, did he give you a pass to leave? I'm like, I asked, did he give you a pass to leave? I'm like, did he give you a pass to leave? I'm like, no, he didn't. So that should have been a sign that you shouldn't have left. I'm like, yes, ma'am, you're right. Okay, I remember your face already. So now I'm going to count how many times you're going to come in and out this office. Do I have to report this? I'm like, no, ma'am. Okay. The bell is finna get ready to ring. And before she said the bell's finna get ready to ring, it rung. You could hear it. So I'm like, I'm late now again for my. She said, I'm gonna write you 2 slips. I don't want to see you back in here. You got that? I'm like, I understand. She's saying if something ever happened, you come and tell us before anything happens. Understand? That's how we can stop and, put out everything before it starts. Right? We want to nip it in the bud. I'm like, understand. So now I feel a little decent, but I'm a little nervous, okay? Because how can I come to you when something's starting out? That could have been a time of me to tell the whole truth about this Dorothy girl, but I don't gotta talk, right? We gonna handle it. So boom, she give me both of my slips. I go and I knock on my teacher door, and he go ahead and give me all my stuff. I give him the slip. He like, see you tomorrow. I'm like, see you tomorrow. I'm like, the assignments. He like, you have to be here to do the assignments. He like, so I'm taking from your grade. He was a cool guy. Why would you take college? My chest. I feel my heart crumpling. Like, not when this teacher parent conference coming. Come on. So boom, I make it to my last period. I'm like, I went on ahead and get the slip. Boom, I go to my desk, whatever. Now, smooth, right? Boom, we going ahead and do our assignments. Have a good time. You know what I'm saying? We getting ready to wrap it up. So this guy that was next to me, he like, hey, what's your name? He like, you got swag. I'm like, oh, they call me Rody Doty, right? The bell rings. We getting ready to water the dough. So I'm like, what's your name? He like, Augie, right? I was like, Augie? I'm like, oh, I like that name, right? He like, yeah. He like, so look, let me ask you a question. I'm like, what? He like, you ever did trials here? He like, I'm new here. So I'm like, oh, I'm new here too. I'm like, my brother, he signed me up for trials. He like, basketball trials? Which trials you doing? I'm like, yeah, basketball trials. He like, oh, he like, what position? I'm like, I don't even know. Like, I didn't sign myself up. So he like, hey, yo. He like, well, since we both the new kids on the block, we can hang. I'm like, all right, bet. So he like, where your locker at? I'm like, oh, my locker downstairs. So he like, oh, my locker upstairs. I'm like, all right, I'll come up there in a second. Mind you, I got to go see Marky, right? So boom, I'm grabbing my books. And as I grab my books, I see the note that I have put up under the books. I'm like, let me just take it with me, right? I put it in my pocket. So I goes upstairs, see Augie grabbing his stuff. I'm like, hey, come with me real quick. Let me go check on my brother. So I go. So my brother, he up there with all his friends, right? That normally be at the table. All of his friends. So Marky like, so I come up over there. So I see Roosevelt. Roosevelt see me. Roosevelt got all his people. So we over there deep. I'm talking about cruising down the street in my 6. I'm talking about Joe, deep to the point that when security or teachers come, they be like, hey, break up this crap. I'm talking about we deep. Now, Roosevelt don't know what's going on. So Marky like, yo, if we see her, you already said. I said, calm down. I got you. So Augie like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what happened? I'm like, don't even trip. So boom, we go out the back way. We take one of the back doors, right? Go down the stairs. Boom, boom, boom. We go out the back doorway. We're walking. Now, as we were walking, getting ready to come out the driveway exit from the SKU, it was like where people did the like driver's ed or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So we coming out that way. So you clear as day, you see Dorothy and a couple of more people. They just like about 3 or 4, but it's her and a couple of more people. They're walking up. So I happen to just look and I glance and I'm like, wait, because it was cars. It was like driver's ed. So it was driver's ed side, but it was where all the teachers parked. You know, like I was only teachers parking and it's all the teachers. So she was coming through the park, like in the parking lot, right? So I'm like, hey, y'all, I'm like, there go Dorothy. So Marky, he take it off his shoulder. I'm like, no. He like, bro, you better get it. You better get it. I'm like, wait. I'm like, chill. So straight up, I'm like, wait. He like, man, she big. Like, straight up, he like, man, she big. She coming through. I'm talking about she coming through and she coming straight towards us like, yeah, what's up? So I'm like, hey, all right, just chill. So Roosevelt like, hey, y'all just go that way. I got y'all. So she coming up. So Roosevelt like, hey, yo, chill. So Roosevelt friend like, hey, like, go on here. We still on school ground. She like, nah. She like, what's up? I want your brother, but since I couldn't get your brother, I got you. Yeah, that was me. So Marky like, man, I ain't got to go nowhere. I'll run. I'm like, Marky, don't chill. No, y'all scared. Go on and run. I'm like, let's just go. Right, so Marky and some of his friends walked away. I left with Marky. Augie came with me. Roosevelt and all his people was there, and some of Marky peoples to stop Dorothy. So Roosevelt like, look, you know, I hit girls. He like, if you swing on me, I'm gonna swing back. She like, I don't got no problem with you. You can just hear her yelling. We walk off, right? As we walking off, we get close to our bus stop. Augie like, hey, yo, I got to catch the other bus going the other way. He ended up giving me his number. I locked his number. And he like, yo, that girl was crazy. He walks off. And we gets on the bus. So Marky like, man, it seemed like I'm a punk. So some of Marky friends like, nah, you not no punk. He like, man, she just a bully. Marky like, I never saw that girl before. So in my mind, like, I'm the one brought her around, because if you be going to this school, you ain't had no problems. Now all of a sudden I'm coming around, it's a problem. Like, what? It's just always me. I'm breaking down. Boom. We get around our area. We go straight to the crib, right? My mom is nowhere there, right? So I'm like, okay, she probably went to go scoop Caleb up. So Marky like, man, he like, my head hurts so bad. I'm like, you gonna be good? He like, yeah. I'm like, hey. I'm like, look at this. So I unzipped my book bag and I showed him. I'm like, look. I'm like, this girl by the name of Chantel gave me the number, but it's just a number on there. He like, no name or nothing. I'm like, no hard, no fly, no nothing. He like, quarter number. I'm like, no, I'm gonna just save it in my phone, right? So he like, don't save it in. Who you gonna save it as? I'm like, yeah, that's true. He like, just call it. I'm like, no, I ain't gonna call it right now. I'll call it later. Boom. Mama comes through the door. Y'all listen, I got somewhere to be, and I got a hair appointment. You gotta watch Boo Man. I'm like, Mama, I got a question. She said, okay, what's the question? What's wrong with you? You got your breath all hot, blowing in my face. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I really want to go. You just love to rip and run. Where you want to go? You just got in trouble, cause you let Beth get you in trouble. Now where you want to go? Where you want to go, troublemaker? I'm like, my friend having a party. What friend? I'm like, the same people house I went to that had the band and stuff. They throw parties every day. Where they mama and daddy at? I think I need to meet their mama and daddy. I'm like, they parents be there. Okay, what time is this party? Cause I had plans. I'm like, at 11. I'm like, Ma,